Greetings petrolheads, welcome back to Automation, and today we are doing another review and it is the Caseworks Buntuk. It is a truck apparently. No, wait. Yes it is. Okay, so it's a small truck though, it's a semi-truck if you will. It's a 1990 model. So it is, yeah, of course I can change it, but anyway, it is a monocoque with commotion resistant steel chassis and panel, longitudinal engine placement, McPherson's up front, leaf springs rear, pretty good for a utility and loading capacity and all that. Also we can see that the engine barely fits into this engine bay, and it is an inline-six turbo. That's all we can see from here. As far as the looks go, pretty classic, like pretty normal, nothing too out of the ordinary, but kind of elegant even for a truck, if you will. Not too much chrome, but I think it looks alright for this body shell. The rear is a little bit silly with those big exhausts and the vents here, but I like it. It's cool. It's not your average truck, but you can still see that it's not really meant to be super fast, but it looks kind of sporty for a semi truck at least, and it's nice. It's nice. So it is excuse me, not rear-wheel drive. It is all-wheel drive, as you would expect. So this is a 2.5 liter turbo inline-six. We got cast iron crank, forged conrods and forged pistons in order to be able to take the resonant torque. This is pretty meaningless, this graphic on the turbos. The dev said that, and I've gotten quite a lot of comments about oh, isn't it bad that the turbos are red? Well, usually red signifies something bad. You're correct about that, but in the case of the turbos, that's kind of meaningless. And oftentimes you can't get a proper turbo setup without having them being either orange or red. In this case we have a pretty low rev limit. Turbo kicks in at 2800 RPM. That's fine. It's early enough. We got pretty low boost. The compression is 9.0, is yeah, kind of average, and 50 cam profile is also very normal. We get a medium water to air intercooler, not a large one, and ball bearing because it's just much more efficient. And a single point EFI with performance intake. That's interesting. So it is, after all, it does after all have kind of a sporty setup. Also the fuel mixture isn't particularly lean, and the ignition timing is kinda... with a rev limit this low, I think you should make the ignition timing a little bit higher, so that the power comes in earlier. But other than that, the engine is quite solid so far. The max... Wait, what? How much power are we making? 257 horsepower, that's actually quite a lot for a 2.5 liter turbo in 1990 in a truck. Yeah. Overall, I don't know if it's a good thing for a truck though. This would be a great engine for just a regular sports coupe, but for a truck I'm not quite sure, because let's face it, a truck or even a semi-truck like this is a utility vehicle, and as such it should have a lot of torque down low, but for that purpose the turbo comes in just a little bit too late in my opinion. So 5 speed manual gearbox, viscous LSD, 30 to 70 power distribution for some fun, I guess. 205's front, 195's rear? Really? And it still doesn't oversteer around. That's kind of nice, actually. We still get actually not very much wheel spin at all. How's that work? 2 piston vented discs up front with 260mm, and then 1 piston vented discs on the rear end with 270mm. That's also interesting to have larger rotors on the rear than on the front when the car is front engined. But it seems to be working. Like, we still don't have brake fade if I do this. So yeah, I guess it's just for, you know, reliability purposes. Semi-clad under tray is probably also not what you'd want on a utility car like this. You'd want either a no under tray or an off-road skid tray, maybe. Wait, is there another trim? Yeah, actually there is. Also, this is the performance model, I think. That's what's up. 2 seats, basic interior, basic cassette, you know, very light, sporty, standard safety, standard springs, adaptive dampers. That's something I should point out. It's pretty fancy and expensive, but will also make the car very sporty. Ride height is relatively low. This is a pretty sporty and customly tuned setup. So what do we get? 36.3 drivability is lower than I thought. And 29.2 sportiness is also a little bit lower than I expected. Let's see. Suspension options. Oh yeah, because we are running leaf springs in the rear. That's why the suspension options are minus 15%. Other than that, yeah, under oversteer, really? That's a minus 8.3% penalty? Sportiness, the engine? Wait. We get minus 12.5% durability for the engine, and we get minus 7.7% sportiness for the engine. That tells you that it could use some optimization. So what does it do performance wise? 5.1 seconds? It's not that bad. But does it really justify the low drivability? I'm sort of confused what this particular version is about. I'm gonna check out the other version now. STDLO. Also, this is the regular version, it seems. It looks more docile right off the bat. Yeah, definitely. So this is more of the. This is the normal version. Again, the 2.5 liter. Cast conrods this time. Lower compression, lower cam profile. Air-to-air medium in the cooler. Even lower boost. 0.5 bars only. And then we have a standard intake, a regular fuel only. The other one was running on premium. Yeah, and still the exhaust is quite big, but it's fine. So what do we got here? Same gearbox and same gearing. A manual locker diff for more off-road capabilities. Hard long life road tires. 165's front and 175's rear. the same brake setup. No, actually only one piston on the front and on the rear as well, but the same diameters and the same pad types as on the sportier version. A semi-clad under tray again, which kind of surprises me because this is the more utility focused version. I don't think you needed a semi-clad under tray on this car. But anyway, again only basic interior, no traction oh yeah, it's 1990. And then standard safety. And this is a little bit more comfortable of a suspension setup. And only gas monotube dampers instead of the adaptive ones. Also a much higher ride height. So the comfort should be better here. And it is. Drivability is slightly higher. Comfort is very slightly higher. But sportiness is down significantly. Prestige is down. Safety is slightly down. Weight is down by 72 kilos though. What surprises me is that the reliability is higher on the sportier version. Even though it revs higher, makes more boost and all that, so you'd expect it to be less reliable, like slightly less reliable at least, but it's not. It's the other way around. So this does 0 to 100 in 6.2 seconds, which is fast enough for a semi-truck as far as I'm concerned. 7.43 liters, I should say, of fuel consumption is also very good actually for this kind of power in 1990. Total cost is low. It's nice. Still the drivability is kind of subpar. This time though we get more wheel spin. That's what's affecting it more. You can see here that we get much less of a penalty for the engine and much less penalty for the under or oversteer, but more for the wheel spin. So a little bit wider tires and you'd be fine with this car, I think. Let's see, sportiness. Yeah, engine is significantly higher on the penalty here. Like you want your car to have either a penalty on drivability for the engine and then a bonus or at least a zero value for the engine at the sportiness category. Or you want it the other way around, like good for drivability and not so good for sportiness. If it's got a penalty on both categories, that's it's kind of bad. But still, overall, what is this car? Honestly, I don't know. It's kind of a joke, really, I think. Because, let's be honest, if somebody wanted a semi-truck, and there's plenty of those out there already, I mean, this looks the part, but then again, it's a little bit too expensive to run, I guess. Even though the service costs aren't that bad, especially in 1990, turbos aren't really that popular yet, and well, maybe on trucks they are, but a naturally aspirated engine is just more, it's just easier to drive and more affordable to service. Sure, the turbo is more economical and this one does a good job at that. I don't think I don't think this would really be that well received upon customers, because it's just a little bit too silly. So yeah, well, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, please click the like button, it helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.